Well, hello everybody. Welcome to your language teaching and learning channel. My name is Santiago, and well, for those of you who are on vacation, I hope you're getting all revved up and ready to go for your classes start in a couple of weeks, and you're getting training and everything else. So good luck to you. And I hope you were able to check out the reading challenge that I was invited to take part in Facebook, and managed to see some of the books that I posted. And because the last training video that we talked about, we talked about reading, I thought it would be ideal to bring it up again, the books that I posted and some of the reasons. Remember, it's important in reading to use the appropriate books for the level, and also that they're interesting, they're nice. And this is why the very first book that I posted, which was Hands, Finger, Thumb, and I mentioned there, that was the first book that I read to my children even before they were born. Okay, now they say that no matter what you read to children, what really matters is how you read it to them. So, you know, if you could take a book like this and then you read it to your children and you say, "Warning, by opening the package, you agree to be bound by the terms of the..." I mean, I haven't experimented with that, I haven't tried it. In my opinion, you know, if you have access to books that are appropriate for children, then there's no need for you to do that. And you know, there's a whole bunch of them. There's a fun one, One Fish, Two Fish, A, B, C. Okay, and I don't know if you've ever heard of the Mandela effect, okay? And I'm bringing this up because of these other books here, by the Bears, the Bernstein Bears. And I remember my friend Chuck told me about the Mandela effect, and he said, "Okay, how do you spell Bernstein?" And I said, "Okay, this is the way." And he said, "No, that's not the way. You want to make a bet? We bet." And you know, I told him, "Hey, I have the books, I'll bring them to you." And I lost the bet. And he said, "That's the Mandela effect. We all think this is what happened, but in reality, that's not what happened." So anyway, and that's why I posted that book. Okay, I also posted a couple of other books which I read when I was in high school. You know, like Marley Fowler's Never Cry Wolf, Flowers for Algernon, Of Mice and Men. Okay, I also posted 13 Plays. Now this is the book that I read in university when I was studying philosophy, Plato's Republic. The professor specifically asked for this translation, because there were other books which were a lot smaller and he thought that they wouldn't be appropriate. And well, actually, once I came back from Canada, it was very hard here to find books in English. So I kind of stopped reading for a while there, and fortunately, I ran into a friend of mine, and his wife had apparently been my student, and he had a bookstore, used books, and this is the first book that I bought from him, and it's the Da Vinci Code. Okay, and then I started reading again, and what you see here, well, there's actually another little bookcase behind the camera there. I actually gave a lot of books away, because obviously now you can have everything here, right? But there are some books that I kept for whatever reasons. And yeah, the last time I gave books away, I remember I took a little garbage bag full of books and shared it with my colleagues at a place that I used to work in. This book, for example, I really like it. It's because, well, obviously it's the Beatles, and you've seen this book before when I talked about music, but also my daughter gave it to me. And also this one here, okay, this book I posted because back in the day when I first started teaching, you couldn't really have, you have a whole bunch of books for teaching English nowadays. Back in the day, you really didn't have that much of a choice. They weren't really good, to be honest with you. And this was the best thing that you could find at the time. And it's actually still pretty good, okay? And I'm really appreciate the fact that there's this lady, her name is Emma Chiriboga, and she actually helped me as a young entrepreneur. I started teaching in private institutions and everything else. And she helped me out finding the teacher's annotated editions for me, and also even the cassettes, which at the time they were very, very hard to come by and very expensive. But she helped me out a lot. And she's actually still doing that. She has her own bookstore now. It's called Studium. And with the help of Conchita, they're still helping students and teachers a lot. So that's the reason I posted that book. And then there's this one, which again at the time, you see now you have all these training books. And you really didn't have good training books at the time, but this was one of the best. That helped me a lot, because when I started teaching, I didn't really have a lot of experience. So there are other books that of course are really good, you know, if you're starting to teaching by principles and so on. But at the time you didn't really have that much of a choice. Some of the other books that I posted, of course, you have Sophie's World, which is a nice classic there. Ken Follett, The Pillars of the Earth. Okay, and obviously from Dan Brown, you still have a lot of books, you know, like Digital Fortress, Inferno, and so on. Very nice, interesting reads. I also posted this one because it's a very interesting book about Siddhartha, the Buddha, and stuff. Very interesting stories. But again, all you need to do is find the appropriate topics and the appropriate level for students in order for them to really begin to enjoy reading. Okay? And, well, that's the reason I wanted to talk to you about the books that I posted and the reasons. I hope you liked it. I hope you actually enjoyed reading, and start checking out some of the books that I suggested, and hopefully you'll become an avid reader and set a good example for your students too. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you next week.